day to die when you know the reasons why.
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle.
Well, we've looked at Grunt, a true G.I.Joe, his non-union Cobra equivalent in Scarface. So today, let's take a look at a bunch of the true Grunts.
True in more ways than one, as you'll soon see.
So meet the Infantry Division. These 6 figures were released in 2005 with no original body parts. Yeah, they were Frankensteined together from a lot, and I mean a lot, of other body parts. I'm not going to go into detail on most of them, because just freaking look at this list, we'd be here all day. I will say they all share the same head sculpt, though it's slightly modified for each one. Originally the head belonged to Downtown, but they changed it from being ball jointed to using the old swivel joint. The way they made them more unique was different hair colors, skin colors, and facial hair. But the telltale sign is they all part their hair in the middle.
It's kinda freaky.
It's like they all have the same father, but different mothers, like the Dudley Boys. The only other body parts I'll mention in detail are the chests. 4 of them share grunts, which is highly appropriate, but 2 use the hiss drivers. So, could these be enemy spies? Hey, it's a better disguise than all the spy troop stuff they had around the same time. These 6 figures were released in a Toys R Us exclusive set, hence why I said they were true grunts.
Get it? Yeah, I thought ahead on that one.
3 of these were also available that same year in another Toys R Us exclusive set called Heavy Assault Squad with Duke, Snake Eyes, and Roadblock. As for the actual figures, they're fine. It's a good representation of an infantry squad in the style of the original Joe team from 1982 and 83.
Detailing is also fine.
There's light green straps and belts, and painted grenades and knives on the figures that use Grunt's torso. The Hiss ones are far more plain, which makes sense considering all there was in the original was a giant Cobra logo, and that wouldn't be entirely appropriate here.
Going back to the heads,
they do manage to look a bit unique if it wasn't for the 6 identical hairstyles giving the game away. You can solve that problem by using their helmets to cover that up. Yeah, they all came with identical helmets to complete the look, and they are the only accessories worth mentioning, as the rest are generic backpacks and guns. And those were the only figures the Infantry Division got.
Which means it's time to talk about the characters. Something that's gonna be a bit of a challenge, to say the least.
Okay, first of all, I've been calling them the Infantry Division because that's their official name.
But they're Greenshirts!
I mean, that's clearly what they're meant to be, the generic troops that ran around in the cartoon. I guess they're not called that because it's a fan term, like the Seekers in Transformers.
Now, I can't prove this, and frankly, I'm not even sure it's true.
But I think it's possible I was the first to use the term Greenshirts in the late 90s on the yojoe.com mailing list. I say I'm not sure because I just took the word red shirts, that referred to those security guys on Star Trek, and applied it to G.I.Joe, so Greenshirts. It's such an obvious use of the term, it's very much possible multiple people came up with it at the same time. Now, let's talk about their individual personalities.
They don't have any.
Oh, they all get file cards, but all they mention is their specialities and what they entail. You've got the communications, intelligence, heavy weapons, infantry, marksman, and vehicle specialist.
They're generic.
Hell, they're even more generic on the packaging as they don't have their facial hair. Also, and most importantly, they don't get code names. That part is intentionally left blank on the cards for kids to fill in, sort of like the SEAL Brigade of old. So, what you've got here is blank slate, empty vessel, dice first, mustache, no name, and who's that?
Oh, there's an in-universe reason for that.
The Infantry Division is a training group of sorts where people are being prepared to join the Joe team as full members, and they only get their code names when they do. You can ignore this and use some of them as versions of the original Joes, like Short Fuse or maybe Hawk, Zap, and of course Grunt. And those were the infantry... You know what? Let's just call them Greenshirts, okay? Those were the Greenshirts. A fun little set that I see as being very useful in dioramas, and a much needed answer to the huge amount of troop builders Cobra has.
Well, I'll see you next time, everybody, and hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing?
good day to die when you know the reasons why. It's a good day to die when you know the reasons why. For the Federation, I will give my life.